The Topfield TF7700 HSCI is a digital satellite receiver for high-definition television using the MPEG-4 standard. It comes in the same box as Topfield's masterpiece receiver, so let's take a good look if it is in fact the same receiver. On the front there are 5 buttons for standby, channel up, down and volume control. Hidden behind a flap there are 2 common interface slots for conditional access modules. The multifunction VFD displays shows menus and station names, and during standby mode, the time. The rear shows the IF input with loop function. Next to it, there is a small switch for changing from component out to DVB-S. Of course, the HDMI output should be used for best picture quality, but unfortunately no HDMI cable has been included in the package. Here you can see the analog AV outputs as RCA and an additional component out. TV and VCR can be connected via 2 SCART sockets. There's only one digital audio out, an optical SPDIF. Software updates can be done using either the RS-232 port or alternatively via USB 2.0. There's also no power switch. The remote control fits your hand and all important keys can be easily reached with your thumb. 2 keys allow direct access for changing video resolution and picture format. No factory configuration has been installed, so when you connect the Topfield to your satellite system you need to install everything manually. And if you press any key during the boot procedure, the display will tell you to wait in capital letters. Now let's go through what an installation might look like. First you need to select the correct menu and subtitle languages. All in all, the receiver offers 19 international languages to choose from. That should be enough. Go to the AV output selection and choose either RGB, CVBS or SVHS signals. When using a widescreen monitor, it will be best to select the 16:9 aspect ratio. But 4:3 as standard picture format is supported as well. The receiver can also analyze the broadcast picture and select the correct standard from 576p to 1080i by itself. In case your audio amplifier does not have a Dolby Digital decoder, you must set this to PCM. If you want to do a satellite search, you must specify for which satellites you would like to do the scan. The satellite database is a bit messy, so to speak, since there is no apparent logic neither alphabetically nor for orbital position. Where to find which satellite? KoreaSat is next to Astra 3A and HellaSat is at the very end of the list. Most oscillator frequencies are stored and can be changed if needed. The Topfield 7700 HSCI supports DISIC 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 and USELS protocols. Whether you own a multi-focus antenna or a motorized dish, anything is possible. The motor settings are very easy to configure for both DISIC 1.2 motors, but also for USELS rotors. Of course, you need to set longitude and latitude of the antenna's geographic position for USELS. The OTA software update via satellite is a convenient feature. As soon as the receiver locks the signal, press start and you get the latest software, which in our case had already been installed. Loader version 1.02, device version 1.33 and application version 70029. As soon as the satellites have been chosen, the search can begin. There are 2 possibilities, an automatic or manual search for individual frequencies. The Topfield 7700 is an HD receiver and can therefore handle DVB-S2 signals and 8 PSK carriers with different symbol rates. There's also an option to only look for encrypted or free-to-air channels or both. The advanced and SMA TV search function will not be used as frequently, but the satellite enthusiast will certainly enjoy these features. It took the receiver about 5 minutes to do a complete search on a 100 transponder satellite. This is by no means a new record, but still. All found channels can be edited quite easily. You may move, delete, rename or simply put your most viewed channels in a favorite list. That list can also be edited. Save time by selecting a group of channels at once and move them in a block. Channel changes are quite fast, and when the broadcaster sends some program information, it will be displayed immediately for the current and upcoming shows. For more details, press the I button on the remote. The Topfield 7700 HSCI comes with a built-in video text decoder with integrated page memory. Once all pages have been stored, you can access them right away. As mentioned in the beginning, there's a button to change the video format from 4:3, letterbox, zoom, and full picture. All of that works nicely, but unfortunately the HD output does not work properly all the time, as you can see here. The colors are then distorted, and the manufacturer promises to take care of that. As soon as the receiver is back to normal, all video data is totally fine again. So far, we have only been looking at regular MPEG-2 channels. What about high-definition channels? This sequence here shows clearly the channel changes among HD channels are much slower than among SD non-HD programs. It takes up to 4 seconds from one channel to another. That is definitely too long, taking into consideration that we have a bouquet here on one frequency. Other receivers are faster. Also, take a look at HD1 and HD5. Channel changes also take more than a second. Of course, once the picture is there, color and details are truly amazing in clarity when viewed on a high-definition monitor. At least you don't have to worry about the BBC. Their HD feed is locked and stored immediately. The receiver's EPG, its electronic program guide, is well laid out and offers program information up to several days in advance. It is also possible to use the EPG to program a timer event comfortably with your remote control. The EPG is not only for TV but also for radio. Press the red key on the remote and change the layout of the EPG. Of course, you can also program a timer event manually through the timer setting menu. The Topfield 7700 HSCI can do what the box says. Deliver high-definition signals to your TV monitor. Unfortunately, there's a bug that will hopefully be fixed after the next software upgrade. It is too bad that channel changes take such a long time with up to several seconds. This used to be different with Topfield. The satellite database looks messy and seems to have been programmed in a hurry. Taking a look at the inside, you can see that the receiver could have fitted in a much smaller box. The menus react fast, and there were no hang-ups during this test period. In other words, it is a receiver with no real surprises, but will do its job. The 65-page instruction manual is very detailed. It also describes the connection from the receiver to an HD TV monitor. But the necessary HDMI, so very important cable, is not included in the package. The last feature that Dr. Dish noticed was that there was no coaxial SPDIF audio output. If Topfield succeeds to deliver a convincing software update, then we will be happy to report on the 7700 again, which, incidentally, is of course not a tuned 5500. It only lives in the body of Topfield's masterpiece receiver. Everything else is new. On the plus side, it's an HD receiver for SD and HD programs. Good instruction manual, good usability, brilliant display, USB 2.0 port for software upgrade. Minus: no HDMI cable, messy satellite database, slow HD channel changes, no coaxial digital audio out, no installation assistant.